Hello everybody, welcome to the United Stand. This is your latest Manchester United transfer news, and have we got a very big and interesting update for you in relation to Lenny Yoro. Real Madrid have fallen behind Manchester United. At least that is the words from the latest update, which is coming in from the journalist who actually broke the news about the initial bid from Manchester United, which was obviously confirmed to be true. So this is coming in from at Nabil Yelet, who is a journalist in France, over 500,000 followers for France Football, RFI, Europe 1, the list goes on. What he is basically saying is this, that Manchester United, Lille have accepted the offer of 50 plus 12, 60 million euros. Yoro is in negotiations with Manchester United on salary conditions, favourable trend and open door to Manchester United. Real still there, but they are behind. So effectively, negotiations are progressing with Lenny Yoro. Lenny Yoro is in talks with Manchester United about completing a deal with Manchester United for wages, which is a significant step forward. I mean, we have to acknowledge that it is. The conversation still remains with regards to what we were talking about this morning. If we get Yoro, we do not get Ligt, and that makes me full of sorrow. But because it rhymes with Yoro. But this, look, bottom line here is I could prefer Ligt, you can prefer Ligt, but not everything that we know is right. And if United and Ten Hag want Yoro over Ligt, then you back that decision. You do. That's what happens. So let's just see whether we can get this deal over the line. The sinister part of me says that what is this French journalist got loyalty to Manchester United for? Has he got loyalty to Lille? Are they trying to coax Real Madrid out? I don't know the angle of this journalist, and I don't know the angle of the story that journalist has got. What we do know is that this is the journalist that broke the initial bid for Yoro, and that was all confirmed by all the credible people. And he is now breaking that Yoro is open to a Man United move and is negotiating wages. Real Madrid still there, but have fallen behind. What this says to me on every single level is that Manchester United are in there with a chance, and also that Manchester United have got a big lead according to this race. But I feel the big story here is that whether it's Yoro, Lille or whoever, they're basically saying to Real Madrid, if you want me, come and get me. And I think that's where we are with that. I think it's very clear that that is what's going on. Whether we end up with Lenny Yoro at Manchester United, well, I think the thumbnail says, here we go, question mark, because that's the next thing. It literally will be, here we go. If he's negotiating wages, look, update alert. We've already agreed the fee with Lille. That's done. The hardest bit of any deal is done. We've had the bid accepted by Lille. It is done. Done. What we now have to do is what normally is the easiest bit, because the player normally wants to come. All we've got to do is get Lenny Yoro to agree to the wages, and here we go. If I was Real Madrid and this was coming out, I'd be a little bit nervous. I'd be like, we might be missing out on this. So, Shen says, can we do a poll on Ligt or Yoro? Well, we did it this morning, mate. It was 68% Ligt. Whilst we still have Hargreaves as Director of Negotiations, I feel we'll always take forever on transfers, just like under Matt Judge, says Acid23. And yet here we are working on a deal that could move very quickly. We've got some other updates to bring you actually as well on Erik Ten Hag. He's been speaking to the press. Also, Rasmus Højlund will wear the number 9 shirt next season. You might have seen that we broke that about an hour ago on the United Stand. Rasmus to wear the number 9 shirt next season. Some people thought it was going to be Xerxes. It will be Rasmus. An unexperienced teenager from Uber Eats League to come in as a starter to the Premier League worries me. This cannot be our only centre-back target. It's not enough, says Mario. I personally would bring both in, but where do you get the money for that? I mean, the difference between De Ligt and Yoro is night and day. You know, Yoro is inexperienced and has a lot to learn. Ligt comes in as a leader, 24, ready to go. I mean, if you buy Yoro, you've got to start him. Surely that's the angle. I mean, I heard somebody say today, we're going to spend £44 million on Yoro and he'll pick Maguire and Martinez. He bloody won't. If we're buying Yoro, he's starting for Manchester United. Like, that's the only reason we'll get him. We must be saying good wages straight into the team. 100%. Absolutely 100%. He's got to be going straight into the team. Do you like Lenny Yoro? Says Kieran G. Hey, Kieran G. Warren G. What I'm here to say, G, is that I will be honest, as I always am. I don't know much about Yoro. I haven't watched Yoro much. I've seen little bits, but what I have done about Yoro, and I'm sure many of you have done it as well, is I've read and researched a lot from people who know what he's all about. I know Liverpool wanted him. I know they backed off because they thought he was going to go to Real Madrid. I know PSG wanted him, but there was no interest to go to PSG from Yoro. Real Madrid were expected to win the race. Man United decided to enter the race. He's a very, 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 very highly rated centre-back in European football. That's why Real Madrid want him. That's why the big clubs want him. So we're not taking a risk. Other than any transfer's a risk. He is highly rated. But everything I've read from the people in the know is that, you know, he's certainly not Virgil van Dijk. You know, he's certainly not Martinez. He doesn't bring the ball out from the back. He's not confident on the ball yet. It's all potential with Yoro, and it's about how quickly that potential will grow. But look, I trust Real Madrid's recruitment, I trust Liverpool's recruitment, and I trust Man United's recruitment. I just had come round to the idea of Ligt. That's all. So that's you know, I'm disappointed that we're not going to get Ligt because I feel that he wasn't a target I was really interested in, and then it felt like United sort of got us interested in Ligt. You know, Ineos really want him, and I sort of came round to the idea, and then if it doesn't happen, it'll be disappointing. If we get Yoro, do you see United going back in for Branthwaite, or can we get an Nacho, says Footy Edits? I mean, we need two centre-backs, so who we go in for probably will be a left-back, I think. Dane says, Southgate leaving, Maguire needs to move on for England career, so maybe we can still get both, says Dane. Oh, Maguire's England career is done, mate. I think it's absolutely done if he doesn't move. I mean, without Southgate to get him in the team when he's not being picked, it's done. So yeah, if Maguire wants to play for England again, he definitely needs a move. Definitely needs a move. Good point, actually. Bradley, thanks for being a member for 10 months. I just want to say a huge thank you for everything you do on the United Stand. Says I see dead bodies, one of the few constants in my life. 2 million subs, let's go. Thank you, mate, and please do subscribe. Personally, Mark, I would have took Ligt over Yoro, says Robert. Didn't know, don't know much about you, but I just think we need that experience Ligt has, and we are his first priority. Yeah, but look, you know, in fairness to Yoro, if he does choose Man United, then he chooses Man United. I know everyone's always said that he wants Real Madrid, but if he chooses Man United, he chooses Man United. Is the Ligt deal fully off now, says Tom? Well, if you believe Ornstein, and I think we all do, if we get this Yoro deal done, then the Ligt deal will be off. So breaking news from the journalist who actually announced that Man United had had a bid go in for Lenny Yoro. He has now said in the last few minutes that Yoro is in negotiations with Manchester United on his salary, and he has opened the door to joining United. Real Madrid are now behind. So I think that whether you want Yoro or Ligt, it matters not. We can't play Player FC, and we're not manager, and we're not on the board. If United choose Yoro over Ligt, it's disappointing because I wanted Ligt, but it's not Yoro's fault, and you've got to back your club. And there's no doubt he's a very exciting signing if we make it. I think that what I would say is that I still have a feeling that we might be being played a little bit. I hope I'm wrong, but I think we might be being played a bit, because is this journalist, you know, what's the angle here? Are they just trying to get Real Madrid to come in? I mean, ultimately, let me tell a story for you. If United are saying that they're going to walk away from the Lille deal because Yoro doesn't want to come, what would you do if you were Lille? If I was Lille, I would try and put it out there that Yoro is thinking about Man United to try and get Real Madrid to move. But even that sounds a bit far-fetched, because surely Real Madrid would just ring up the agent of Yoro and say, is that true? And he goes, no, we're not talking to Man United at all. So I would take it that he probably is getting close to a Man United move. The interesting thing will be if Real Madrid are that interested that they want to go for him or not. That's going to be very interesting to find out. But this is legitimate news that United are negotiating wages. And once that wages thing is done, it's done. Like, if we're negotiating wages and Yoro's open to doing that and we agree those wages, the only thing left to do is just say to Real Madrid, I'm about to sign the contract unless you do a deal. So it looks like it's done. Yoro will start for Man United, by the way. Yoro will start for Manchester United. Jackson says De Ligt is proven Yoro has the potential. Yoro will start for Manchester United if he comes in. That has to be the angle. Why would you come to Manchester United over Real Madrid to sit on the bench when you could do that for Real Madrid? So he will be coming in as a starter. He will be coming in as a Varane replacement. Remember, he's only 19 in November. He's 6'3", so big. But he's 18 at the moment, and he'd be 18 at the start of our season. Another positive is he would go straight onto the US tour. He's not part of, as far as I'm aware, he's not part of the Olympics for France. He certainly wasn't part of the Euros. So he would come straight in and go straight onto the tour as well. So look, I like De Ligt. I'd like to have got both, but the positives of Yoro, Real Madrid, PSG, Liverpool wanted him. 3 of the biggest clubs in the world, 3 of the best performing clubs in the world wanted him. He's undoubtedly quality. He will be on the tour. And he will go straight into that Man United side. So he's not, he is potential, but he'll be going straight into the team, because there ain't no way he's choosing Man United to sit on our bench. So, yeah. Is he a generational talent? I've got absolutely no idea. I've got no idea. But what I will say is, if we get this deal done, I will be excited. I will back it. I will say well done. I will say we've just beaten Real Madrid to a signing. I will say it's a fantastic deal, because it's what Man United want. I mean, one way to look at it is, I'm not the manager, you're not the manager. You're telling me Erik ten Hag is not sat there with Dan Ashworth and Barada and going, right, Eric, we've got De Ligt ready to go, but Yoro wants to come. And we're going for Yoro. You're telling me that Ten Hag's not going, yeah, let's do it. We know he's got a veto. So I would have thought, traditionally, we would all thought he would have gone for De Ligt, because he's played with De Ligt before. You know, he's coached him before. But only elephant in the room would be if we're being played here to get Real Madrid in. If we get him, that's an absolute Ineos statement, says Delicate Official. And would he end up being considered homegrown, says Ronaldo? No. Because you've got to do 3 full seasons before you're 21, and he's 19 this season. So, yeah, he would 2 years away from being 21. Where's the Fabrizio and David Ornstein update? I'm sure they're ready to go. Roger says stupid wages incoming as well. But I mean, I don't know what the wages would be. I don't know what they'd be. But if you're tuning in a little bit late for the 2 o'clock show, Manchester United are negotiating wages with Lenny Yoro, who is opening the door to a Man United move, and Real Madrid are falling behind. This is coming in from the journalist who broke the story about the initial bid for Yoro from Man United. So you've got to take it seriously. And as much as many of us didn't think this was possible, even Liverpool didn't bother because they thought he was going to go to Real Madrid. If Man United have stayed in a race and beaten Real Madrid, it would be a massive, massive scoop. And we are apparently close to it. However, it doesn't mean he won't agree wages with United and then say to Real Madrid, one more chance. Do you want to get me? I don't understand Man United's obsession of keeping Maguire and Lindelof. Sell them and buy another centre-back, and Martinez backup should be there. We can't trust Bruno. Evans, says Sapatashi. And Robert says, if we do get him, Mark, he'll just go to Madrid in the next 3 to 5 years, whereas I think Ligt would like to stay long-term and become a legend, says Robert. Robert, the problem with that is nobody will give a shit, because no one's going to sit there in 3 or 5 years when he goes to Madrid and go, I told you so. I told you that would happen. You know, and maybe Man United are going into that eyes wide open as well. I don't know. But the footballing world could be a very different place in 3 to 5 years as well. You don't know. Maybe Man United will be winning Premier Leagues. Maybe we'll be winning Champions Leagues. With the likes of Yoro and Rasmus and Mainu and Garnacho and Collier and Frimpong and whoever else. I don't know. We went from Todibo to De Ligt to Yoro, says Peter. Well, I think that's a great point by Peter, because I think, forget Yoro and De Ligt, it would have been Todibo if we could have got him. If we get Yoro, do you think we'll get an Nacho for the left-footed centre-back since he's cheap, says Jason? I think we do need a left-footed centre-back. Yeah. My concern is that if Yoro is our right-footed centre-back, who is the backup right-footed centre-back? Harry Maguire? Victor Lindelof? Don't think it's good enough. What are your thoughts on Southgate leaving the England job, says Robson? Well, you can get my thoughts on that on That's Football, where I did a match reaction, but I'm very happy. And I wonder what the backlash from that will be for certain Man United players who, you know, certainly Harry Maguire, if he wants a future for England, he's got to be playing for Man United, hasn't he? Or making a move. Let me just get rid of this idiot in the chat. Love the transfer window, says Lee Berman. There is a question here. Do you think he'll sign for Man United? Which is a horrible question. Welcome to the Members Club, William Q. It's a horrible question, but I don't dodge them. Do I think we will end up signing Yoro based on where we are at the moment? Look, if you'd have asked me this morning, I still would have said I think he's going to go to Real Madrid. If you're asking me now whether I'm going to change that because of this story from a French journalist I don't know a lot about, I will say that I still think Real Madrid will come back. Everything I know, everything I've learnt, tells me that Real Madrid do not learn these types of... They don't lose these types of things. I think he'll still go to Real Madrid. But I understand why people are getting very excited about it. Hold on a minute. Just put that in there. Okay, I've got some Tenard quotes to come through as well here that I need to read you about. Does Sancho staying have anything to do with us only being able to choose De Ligt or Yoro instead of both? No, not really, Rod, because I think we want a left-footed centre-back and a right-footed centre-back. I mean, personally, I think we need 3 centre-backs. I think we need a left-footed centre-back and 2 right-footed centre-backs. I think you've got Martinez and that's it. And Evans. Camboila's gone. Varane's gone. I'd get rid of Maguire and Lindelof as well. Personally, I was hoping we were going to go De Ligt, Yoro, and a left-sided centre-back and Evans, but it looks like we will be keeping Lindelof or Maguire. Probably keep Maguire, won't we? There we go. I'm getting messages about stuff here. Does Sancho... we play... what, Mark, if we sign a left-footed centre-back as well, will he play back up to Martinez? What do you think our plan is there? Yeah, backup. We need four good centre backs. That's what we need. Definitely need that. Right, let me just read you some quotes coming in from Erik ten Hag's interview this morning that some of you might have seen. One of the most significant ones that we've seen is in relation to Jadon Sancho, where basically what he said about Jadon Sancho is that, and these are Erik ten Hag direct quotes, as we said, we draw the line. Manchester United need good players. Jadon is a good player. We have drawn that line and we move on. I think with Sancho, he's back in training. He's going to be back playing pre-season games. I've said my piece on this. I just don't trust it. I don't trust it. I don't think Leopards change their spots, and I don't think you can rebuild trust just because you said you have. There was a big fallout. You know, for 3 months he was sat at home not playing for Man United when he was fully fit. I don't believe that they've just shook hands and everything's fine. I think there is I think they've been mature and professional, but I still think the preference probably from both is to part ways. So I still think that you know, if you're Erik ten Hag, are you going to trust Sancho in and around the players behind your back? I don't think that he will. And if you're Sancho, are you going to trust ten Hag to give you a fair crack of the whip in the team? I don't think he will. So I think it's a long way back. And I just see that as words at the moment. So I think it's right that he's back in training, and maybe we can have a miracle, but I don't for 1 minute think that suddenly everything's fine between Sancho and Ten Hag. I think it's just a professional statement. On Xerxes, he said he's a player who can link up the game, who can be available, hold up the ball, have good ideas, be creative, and can dribble and make combinations. He's a different type of player and always what we are looking for, so it gives us more options tactically, which is good because especially up front, we have many players who can play very direct and they can take a big benefit from his skills. So he's talking about the creativity that he would bring there in relation to Xerxes. I think one of the big considerations about Xerxes as well is not just his ability to take people on and be creative, but also his physicality and height. I think they are massive assets because, you know, if Scott McTominay was 5'8", he wouldn't be at Man United. He is he's a player that has basically stayed at United for many years because he's tall, and we don't have a lot of tall players. He also says that in relation to pre-season and the Euros players, he says McTominay's back tomorrow. Then next week, we've got Rasmus and Christian Eriksen returning, and they will all go on the tour. So with regards to the tour, we know that Bruno is probably not going to be back for that, don't think. And also Delot, certainly not Garnacho, Martinez, Mainu and Shaw. But Rasmus, McTominay and Eriksen all going to be back, ready to go on tour for Manchester United. Diamonde is a very good option, and he's left-footed as an Easter. Well, look, I think a lot of us mention Iheanacho just because he's a player that people like. Karan says, hi, Mark. If Branthwaite and Yoro don't come, can we go for any other central defenders? Are we looking at any other options? Well, we're looking at Ligt. If we get Yoro, who will be the second defender, says Darren? I've got no idea. I've got absolutely no idea. We probably still haven't walked away from the Branthwaite deal, if we're being completely honest yet. So maybe that's something to do with it. Manchester United highly unlikely to go for Gareth Southgate should there need to be a replacement. All focus is on the Dutchman. Centre midfielder and centre back set to follow. Kirksey. Tuchel likely to be in line if worst case. CM and I don't know what all this is all about. Mike Keegan. Manchester United would be highly unlikely to go for Southgate even if they get rid of Ten Hag. A central defender and a midfielder are likely to follow the striker. Oh, I read it as Kirkes after Xerxes. Sorry. Tuchel is well liked. What is that really? We've got Erik ten Hag. I mean, just on Gareth Southgate, by the way, he's left England and apparently he thinks he can get a Premier League club. Apparently he thinks he can get a Premier League club with Champions League football. Mate, you'll do well to get a bloody National League club with a bloody dartboard. Like, you've got no chance. Absolutely no chance. Absolutely no chance. I don't really understand what that Mike Egan story is all about. He's talking about Tuchel and Southgate like we're still sacking Ten Hag. And he says we're going to get a midfielder and a centre-back. It's almost like is that not an article from May? It doesn't make any sense to me. But hi, Mark. Thank you for your service. United should learn from you, says Ekos. Thank you very much. I hope you're doing well. And Cyber Spider says, I know it's not likely, but what if Ligt and Yoro with Shaw as a backup at left centre-back and we get first choice left-back? It's not impossible, says Cyber Spider. I'll love it if we get Ligt, but maybe Madrid will steal Ligt now, says L3 in 711. I fear that if we signed Yoro, Madrid will go for Ligt. I would love to get Yoro and Ligt. That's what I was sort of hoping for. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. It doesn't, I mean, I have to bow down to David Ornstein saying it's one or the other. So I presume it's one or the other. Anyway, carrying on with Ten Hag quotes. He also said that I think we showed we can beat the best team in the world on the last occasion of the season, Man City in the FA Cup final. So when everyone is fit, we already have a good team and can achieve a high level. But also, we know in terms of the depth, we need more players. So Ten Hag talking about more players need to be brought in. And I like this from Ten Hag. You know, what he said after the Rosenborg game yesterday was that it's not good enough. He's openly talking about what's needed. And I think he's doing that because he's got the structure above him now. And he can speak confidently about what is required. He also said this season, again, more games, new model, more format for Europe. You'll have more games in a season, more intense games, no winter break, and a January that's very condensed. So you need squad depth. It's more about survival of the fittest. So again, he's talking about players. I need players. I need squad. I need players bringing in. And he said last season, we won a trophy. And the season before that, we won a trophy. So we've won 2 trophies in 2 seasons. Apart from Man City, that's more than any other club in English football. What we achieved in the structure we had, with the staff we had, it's a big achievement. But I think we have higher ambitions and we are going to set ourselves higher targets. And I think that's a great point from Ten Hag as well. That 2 trophies in 2 seasons with a crap structure. I think that's what he's saying. He's saying, look, we've done really, really well and things are a lot better now. We've now got good recruitment, good structure. So really we want to go for higher now. And I think that's, you know, I think the standards are going up and I don't think Erik Ten Hag is going to let or make any excuses about that. Anyone seen Yoro play? Is he actually good, says Raz. I wouldn't trust anybody who said that they had. But the latest on Yoro is that Manchester United, I mean, what's this up? Sam, are you thick? Sorry to be blunt here, but Sam says, same news, different words. He doesn't fancy United going back and forth with Yoro. I mean, Sam, do you just walk into a pub and think it's a library? Do you jump into do you jump on concrete and think it's a swimming pool? You're just making stuff up. The guy who broke the news of the bid from Manchester United, which was true, has come out and said that Yoro is now negotiating his wages with Manchester United and wants to come to Manchester United. What? How is that the same news, Sam? It's literally the opposite of the same news, because the same news has been United want Yoro, but Yoro wants to go to Real Madrid. We've now got Yoro is negotiating his wages and is open to joining Man United. That is a significant update, mate. We haven't had that update. I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes I just despair. I absolutely despair. What I would say is, and Sam's not right still, but what I would say is maybe this is a cry for help from Yoro to say, I'm negotiating with Man United. If you really want me, come and get me. But there we go. Mark, dropping by to say I love what you do here and I watch the shows every day, says Danish. Thank you and sending love to you and the team from Malaysia. Legend, mate. Thank you very much. I've got something stuck in my throat. Ian Hanley says, I think sort out the back line from here on. If we get rid of McTominay and Casemiro, they then getting a midfielder as well as keeping Amrabat. I'd like to see that. I would like to see that. Cam says, basically, he's keeping his options open because he wants Madrid. Mate, I don't think... Look, the great thing about YouTube is that everybody's welcome. I mean, many people have said there should be a gatekeeper on this community because it's an intelligent community who knows what's going on. But I've always said, no, football's for everybody. Let them in. But you are as Cam and Sam. What a surprise that your names rhyme. What a bunch of prats. He's keeping his options open because he wants Madrid. It's the absolute opposite of keeping your options open. This is like two women want to take you to bed and you're thinking about which one, but then you're in bed with one of them and you still might go to bed with the other one. Once you're in bed with them and you're cracking on with it, the other one's not going to have you. And that's exactly what Yoro's doing. He's negotiating wages and open to a deal. As soon as those wages are agreed, he signs for Man United. That's it. It's that close. The update is that he's negotiating wages and open to joining Man United. We've not had that update. And I tell you what, if Real Madrid want him, they're going to have to move bloody quick, which they haven't done. So it might be one last flirt to say, do you want me? But Real Madrid have sat there going, no, we're going to wait. Well, now they've got to move quickly because, you know, it's about to happen. It's about to happen. Do I think it will happen? I still think Real Madrid will run in and sweep him off his feet. But it's very, very close. If you're a positive person and you're not scared of Real Madrid, I would say it's very, very close to happening. Very, very close. James is trying to drive, thinking about the analogies are good. The analogies are good. Anyway, look, legends, thank you very much. I'm back at 8 o'clock if I'm not back before. Remember, Rasmus is going to be wearing the 9 shirt. Clarky's back. Not seen you for bloody ages, mate. Hope you're doing well. Who remembers Clarky? Not seen you for a while. Says, think the best signing will be the new medical team to call out the players faking injuries who almost threw Ten Hag under the bus. Great show, Mark. Well, it's great to have you back, mate. I hope you're doing very, very well. Right at the end there. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Legends, love the show. Are we about to hit a proper here we go with Yoro? Well, we'll all be watching to see what happens later on today. Take care, everyone. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. 8 o'clock, if not before. See you in a bit.